There are few relationships within the royal family that elicit more conjecture and gossip than that of Princess Anne and Camilla Parker-Bowles. Their history dates back to the 70s, and it's evolved quite a bit over the decades. Let's take a look at the truth of their complicated ties. There's nothing better than meeting a potential significant other through mutual friends. Or is there? As noted by Express, Camilla Parker-Bowles met her future husband, Prince Charles, through Princess Anne. The situation, however, was not as peachy as it seems. Royal author Penny Junor told Express that it was through Anne's relationship with Andrew Parker-Bowles that Camilla and Charles met, and thus their, quote, little fling began. We'll get into Anne's relationship with Andrew in a moment, but what did the initial melting pot between the royals and both Parker-Bowleses look like? As noted by Town & Country, Camilla and Charles met at a polo match in 1970, and Camilla was quick with her remarks. She reportedly said, "My great-grandmother was the mistress of your great-great-grandfather. I feel we have something in common." Yes, she was that bold. Of course, Anne was involved with Andrew at the time, and Charles left soon after for his Royal Navy service. When he came back, Camilla was engaged to Andrew, which undoubtedly left both the prince and princess feeling rather snubbed. Camilla Parker-Bowles and Princess Anne haven't had the easiest relationship, and that could be thanks to their involvement with the same man. Sally Bedell Smith, Prince Charles's biographer, told Town & Country that Anne and Andrew Parker-Bowles were romantically involved in the 1970s. The two were reportedly quite taken with each other, but the royal family put their foot down when the idea of marriage came into play. Why? Andrew was Catholic, and as a member of the Church of England, Anne wasn't allowed to marry him. That's not to say that their relationship dwindled, but Andrew did meet Camilla and he popped the question. Andrew and Camilla were married on July 4, 1973 at the Guards Chapel, and their reception was held at St James's Palace. A number of royals were in attendance, including the Queen Mother, Princess Margaret, and you guessed it, Anne. Was there a twinge of jealousy? No one will really ever know, but given the speedy timeline of Andrew and Camilla's relationship and the hastiness of it following the romance between Andrew and Anne, it's hard not to jump to conclusions. When Camilla Parker-Bowles and Prince Charles married in 2005, Princess Anne reportedly gave Camilla the cold shoulder. It should be noted that a number of the royals weren't thrilled about the nuptials, and Queen Elizabeth didn't even attend the ceremony. Body language expert Judy James told Express that after their wedding, members of the royal family looked less than enthused about the new couple. She said, "At the poses after their wedding, the Queen and Philip stood back and away from the couple on the steps, which prevented any happy family photographs being taken, and it looks very much as though Anne is equally unwilling to look anything more than frosty here too." Not exactly a warm welcome, but it should be noted that Anne was rather standoffish to Princess Diana Spencer too. As noted by E! News, Anne, quote, had no time for Diana and often found her relationship with the media irritating. Anne reportedly had, and still has, a much more traditional approach to monarchy and royal duty, which could explain her frosty behaviour to Diana and her less than welcoming behaviour toward Camilla.
Well, I feel there is that.
There are lots of rules, stipulations, and protocols that have to be followed by the royals, and it becomes even more confusing when the idea of succession comes into view. We all know that Prince Charles is the heir, but where does that leave Camilla Parker-Bowles? After all, she is married to him, so when he becomes king, will she become queen? Will Princess Anne have to curtsy to her? It's hard to say. As noted by The Telegraph, Queen Elizabeth altered the order of precedence, quote, on blood principles, meaning that because Camilla is not a royal by blood, she will never be able to demand a curtsy from either Anne or Princess Alexandra when Charles is not around. Did the Queen change this rule intentionally with Camilla in mind? It's difficult to say, but the two have had a rather contentious relationship in the past, so nothing is off the table. As far as Camilla's title and rank over Anne is concerned, her son, Tom Parker-Bowles, shed some light on the situation. He told The Times, "I honestly don't know if Mum will be called Queen. That hasn't been decided." Princess Anne was not particularly welcoming to either Diana Spencer or Camilla Parker-Bowles, but how much of that did Camilla clue into? According to royal author Penny Junor, Camilla was well aware of Anne's cold demeanour and was rather intimidated by the princess for years following her marriage to Prince Charles. As noted by The News, Anne's chilly conduct was extremely nerve-wracking for Camilla. Nothing complicates matters more than romance, and from what Juna assessed, Anne took some time to warm up to the idea of having the woman who married one of her loves around. Juna said, "The affair between Andrew and Anne came to nothing, but I think they were hugely fond of each other. And they remain hugely fond of each other. And I think Camilla has always had a bit of a problem with that." She continued by saying that Anne has been known for her, quote, abrasive demeanour, and given the personal history between the women, Camilla has appeared to be intimidated by her for quite some time. Camilla Parker-Bowles might be married to the heir to the British throne, but it certainly seems as though Princess Anne, who is 15th in line to the throne, has the upper hand. As noted by Express, Anne started her life as a working royal at the young age of 18, so her responsibilities have been a consistent component of her life. Camilla only formally joined the royal family in 2005, so even on the very basic level of timing, Anne runs circles around her. This is fairly obvious based on the dynamic between the two, and body language expert Darren Stanton told Express that Camilla's insecurity around Anne is very obvious, even to this day. Commenting on Anne's strong presence, Stanton said that she is by far the, quote, dominant character between her and Camilla, and it's clear that her unwavering persona has rocked Camilla's confidence. Also bringing in Sophie, Countess of Wessex, and wife to Queen Elizabeth's youngest son, Edward, into the picture, Stanton asserted that while Anne and Sophie can carry their own, Camilla still suffers from, quote, insecurity. While all pictured together, it is painstakingly clear that Anne has the upper hand. We all know the famous cheating scandal that rocked the royal family, but what if we told you that Camilla Parker-Bowles set her sights on Prince Charles because of Princess Anne? Leading royal biographer Penny Juna asserted that Camilla got with Charles in order to spite her then-boyfriend Andrew Parker-Bowles, who was, by all accounts, still romantically attached to Anne. It was allegedly a tit-for-tat situation, according to the news, and if it hadn't been for Andrew's infidelity, Camilla might have never pursued a relationship with Charles. While speaking at the Henley Literary Festival, Juna asserted that Camilla was, quote, passionately in love with Andrew, but his romance with Anne and other women pushed her over the edge. Camilla reportedly caught Andrew cheating, slashed his tyres, and wrote a message to him on his car in lipstick. She then reportedly set her gaze on Charles, and the rest is history. Juna said, when she was introduced to Charles, she thought, Andrew is at the moment off with Princess Anne, you know, her brother. Teach Andrew a lesson. So she had a fling with Charles. Despite the drama and the presence of Camilla Parker-Bowles in the royal family, Princess Anne is still very close to Andrew Parker-Bowles. In fact, as noted by Harper's Bazaar, Andrew is the godfather of Zara Phillips, Anne's daughter. And to make matters even more weird, Prince Charles is the godfather of Tom Parker-Bowles, Camilla and Andrew's son. We'll give you a minute to sit with this information because there's a lot of inter-family dynamics going on. So what is it with Andrew that has him so enwrapped in Anne's life, as well as his exes? Harper's Bazaar noted that Andrew had a very close relationship with the royals since childhood, as his father was a good friend of the Queen Mothers. Andrew was even a page boy at Queen Elizabeth's 1953 coronation. By all means, the relationship between Camilla and Anne has yet another layer of complication to it, as there are a lot of exes, a lot of history, and a lot of drama to afford. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been in the news a lot lately, in part because their future within the royal family is up in the air.
This morning, Harry and Meghan are accusing the BBC of libel over a report claiming the new parents had named their daughter Lilibet without asking the Queen.
Prince Charles, who is all but acting as king even though he's not technically on the throne yet, has taken the steps to shrink the size of the royal family. And while Harry and Meghan are almost certainly on the outs, questions about the monarchy and Camilla Parker-Bowles' influence are arising, and Princess Anne reportedly has something to say about it. A royal insider told New Idea, Anne has always found Camilla opportunistic, and with her and Prince Charles's roles being widened in 2021, she's really throwing her weight around. The insider continued by sharing that Anne has gotten frustrated with the dynamic, as she, quote, rarely gets any alone time with her brother to share her thoughts. It was also reported that Camilla wants Anne to simply let go of any past resentments toward her, but that the princess is still holding on to rooted grudges. Time will tell how Camilla will help shape the future of the monarchy and where Anne will fit into it. Despite the obvious historically rooted tension between Anne and Camilla, body language expert Judy James asserts that they may have come to a place of understanding as they are both trying to support and maintain the monarchy. In the wake of Prince Philip's death, the already assertive Prince Charles once again stepped up to the plate, bringing his wife and sister along with him. James told Express that while, quote, the relationship between Anne and Camilla might have been difficult, they appear to be making strides toward understanding. James said, "Senior royals do seem to have closed ranks around the Queen recently, creating an elite squad of Charles, Camilla and Anne, Kate and William, and Edward and Sophie." James further explained that there will most likely always be distance between Camilla and Anne, as well as between Anne and Charles. Yet all of them have seemingly put aside their differences in order to get the job done, as it were. James said, "They are beginning to look as though shared goals in terms of their desire to sustain the image of the royal firm have brought them closer together." Romantic relationships have seemingly put Princess Anne and Camilla Parker-Bowles at odds, but the princess undoubtedly helped Camilla and Prince Charles when it came to asserting their relationship. As noted by Express, Anne was the first royal to not only divorce her spouse, but then to marry the man she had an affair with. Here are the details. While married to Mark Phillips, Anne cheated on him with Timothy Lawrence. She subsequently filed for divorce from Phillips in 1992 and very soon after got married to Lawrence. This by no means was a traditional thing to ever happen in the otherwise morally upright royal family, but it's safe to say that her trailblazing ways helped Camilla out enormously. Camilla was famously Charles's mistress, as the two maintained their relationship throughout Charles's marriage to Diana Spencer. After divorcing Diana and navigating her tragic death, Charles married Camilla in 2005. It's safe to say that without Anne, Camilla would have had no precedent to rely on when it came to marrying the man she loved. So while these two have certainly had their ups and downs, they have helped each other, in a way. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about the royal family are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.